Hello to all of you, are watching this video. In this lesson, you learn 4 tools for constraining. 2 of these tools are in the Sketch Tools toolbox. The other 2 are in the Visualization toolbox. Okay, let's go on the screen and start the lesson.
I got this magic in my fingertips, designing dreams with every click. Shapes and wonders coming to life. With CATIA I cut through strife. In my mind the future's clear. No more doubts, no more fear. Crafting visions in 3D. CATIA's the key, don't you see? I can reach the sky so high. Build my dreams, no need to try. With
Hello everyone. Please open your Sketcher page. I'm currently on this page. If you remember, I mentioned in one of the previous sessions that we have a strategy for drawing different shapes. First, we roughly draw the shape using the tools in the Profile toolbar. We make the necessary modification with the tools in the Operation toolbar. Finally, we make the shape precise and constrain with the tools in the Constraint toolbar. I previously mentioned that most tools have more functionalities. Some of them had to be determined in the Sketch Tools toolbar, such as drawing a regular polygon whose number of sides was determined in the Sketch Tools toolbar. I previously mentioned that the Sketch Tools toolbar has several resident and permanent tools. You learn 2 of these tools. These tools were Snap to Point and Construction Standard Element. Three other tools remained. 2 of these tools are Geometrical Constraint and Dimensional Constraint. If you pay attention, you will see that these 2 tools are orange. This means that these 2 tools are active. When these 2 tools are active, the constraining operation can be permanently executed. What does this sentence mean? Suppose we have a rectangle on the page. We want to define the dimensions and position of the rectangle on the page. By doing this, the rectangle will become fully constrained and green. I start dimensioning. You see that the rectangle became fully constrained and its color also turned green. This rectangle size and position will no longer change on the page. The only way to make these changes is by double-clicking on the dimension and changing it in the open window. I will change one of these dimensions. Look at the shape. By changing the dimension 50 to 25, the shape moves by their difference. But if I move the mouse over the shape until it turns into a hand, in this state, if I click and move the mouse, nothing happens and the shape does not move. Note that when you click, the hand that was a pointer turns into a fist. The software has truly made design work easier. Be sure to look at these signs carefully and learn them. Now, first in the Sketch Tools toolbar, I deactivate the Dimensional Constraint tool. To do this, I click on it. It is seen that it exited the orange state. I draw another rectangle. It is seen that with drawing the rectangle, geometrical constraints were applied. Now with the Constraint tool, I dimension one of the sides. It is seen that the dimension was placed. I delete the dimension. I click on the same side until it turns orange. I activate the Constraint by dialog box tool. From the open window, I select the length constraint. Immediately after selection, a warning appears on the page. This warning says that with this tool, the dimension constraint is temporarily applied. I click on OK for this warning. Look at the shape. The dimension has been placed. I click on OK for the Constraint Definition window. It is observed that simultaneously with the closing of the window, the dimension was also cleared. I select the rectangle again. I click on the Auto Constraint tool. The Auto Constraint window opens. In the first box, it is observed that 4 lines are selected. If you click on the black triangle next to the box, its contents move. 4 points are also seen in this state. In the lower box, I introduce the 2 axes to the software. Click on the lower box until it turns blue. Select the 2 axes H and V. Click on OK. It is observed that all dimensions were placed without any warning. Conclusion: if the dimensional constraint command is inactive, only dimensions placed through the Constraint by dialog box will be temporary. But with the other 2 tools, numerical constraining is done permanently. Now I activate this constraint. I click on Geometrical Constraint to deactivate it. I click on the Rectangle command to activate it. I draw a rectangle. It is seen that unlike before, the H and V constraints were not placed on the sides. I select one of the horizontal sides. The Constraint by dialog box command becomes active. I click on it to open the command window. I click on the horizontal constraint to activate it. Immediately, a warning page is displayed. This warning tells us that the selected constraint is temporary. I click on the warning to close it. It is observed that the letter H was created on the selected side. I click on OK of the constraint window. It is observed that with the closing of the window, the constraint is also cleared. I want to move one of the corners of the side. I move the pointer to the corner of the side. The endpoint of the side turns blue. I click here and hold. I move the mouse in this state. It is seen that the line moved out of the horizontal state. I press the key combination Ctrl+Z. I go back one step. Now I activate the constraint command. Then I click on the line. A dimension is formed. Before clicking the mouse to confirm the dimension, I perform a right click. A menu opens. The fourth row says horizontal. I move the mouse pointer over it and click. The dimension constraint turned into a horizontal geometrical constraint. The horizontal constraint with the letter H was formed on our side. Conclusion: the geometrical constraint tool only affects the constraint by dialog box tool. Here you also learn two other things. If we want to use the constraining tool in the dialog box, we must first activate the element. If we want to use the constraint tool, we can either activate the element first or activate the tool first and then the element. The second point was that we can also use the constraint tool for geometrical constraining. The last tool in the Sketch Tools toolbar is called Automatic Dimensional Constraint. This tool is similar to the Auto Constraint tool, but with a silent difference compared to it. First, before drawing the shape, the tool must be activated. Second, it only places numerical constraints related to the shape and does not deal with positional constraints. I first activate this constraint until it turns orange. Then I draw a rectangle. It is seen that two numerical constraints related to the length and width values and four geometrical constraints were placed on the shape. Now I deactivate the constraint. I also deactivate the geometrical constraint. I draw a rectangle. I select the rectangle. I activate the auto constraint. I perform the actions related to filling its boxes. I click on OK. It is observed that the numerical constraints related to the shape and position and the geometrical constraints were fully placed. Now I bring another general toolbar called Visualization onto the page. In this toolbar, the last two tools are exactly named the same as these two tools I explained. These two tools are in the selected state. Pay attention to the drawn and constrained rectangle. First, I click on the Geometrical Constraint tool to deselect it. It is seen that the geometrical constraints disappeared. Note that the geometrical constraints exist and have only been hidden from view. I click on the command again to activate it. It is observed that the constraints return again. I click on the Dimensional Constraint tool to deactivate it. It is seen that all numerical constraints disappeared. I click on the tool to activate it. Numerical constraints appear on the shape. Note: make sure these four tools are always active. Well, today's lesson is finished here. Watch the lesson twice. Practice with me the second time. Good luck. Goodbye until the next lesson.